Okay, viewers, we are welcome back into our second segment of the lectures. Again, as I earlier said, we will continue to work on the Eastern Regional Crisis from January to May 1953. Now, before we enter the Eastern Regional Crisis, we should no longer be doubting which Eastern region are we talking about. Because from the Constitution we have explained from the previous lectures, I explained that Southern Cameroon under the Richard Constitution, as the Richard Constitution divided Nigeria into regions in 1946, Southern Cameroon was attached to the Eastern region of Nigeria. So the region where Southern Cameroon was attached to the Eastern region witnessed a crisis from January to May 1953. Now, the Eastern region of Nigeria was governed by a political party known as the National Council for Nigeria, National Council for Nigeria and Cameroon, which is, you can say, the NC party. This party was formed in 1944 by Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. With Professor Eyo Etta. Eyo Etta was the assistant chairman of the party, while the NCNC was formed by Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. The NCNC was a ruling party in the eastern region of Nigeria. So, the crisis in the eastern region of Nigeria came up because of these two personalities, Nnamdi Azikiwe and Eyo Etta. That is why we are looking at the causes of the crisis. We have first point, we talk about personality conflict. When we talk about personality conflict, we are referring to these two personalities, Eyo Etta and Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. As I said, Nnamdi Azikiwe was the founder of the National Council for Nigeria and Cameroon, and Professor Eyo Etta was the vice chairman of the party and at the same time leader of government business in the eastern region, or we can still call him, was like the premier in the eastern region of Nigeria. The premier was like the leader of the ministers. The eastern region had 9 ministers, as we look at it under the Richard Constitution, and out of the 9 ministers, Southern Cameroon had 1, which was S.C. Mono. So, the leader of the ministers in the eastern region was Eyo Etta, who was the vice chairman of the NCNC party. Nnamdi Azikiwe, on his part, was represented in the Federal House of Assembly in Lagos. The Federal House, which was the upper house of assembly in Nigeria in Lagos, Nnamdi Azikiwe was represented in that house. Now, the conflict that came up between these two personalities was because, one, Nnamdi Azikiwe took the advantage that Eyo Etta became leader of government business in the eastern region because of his party, the NCNC, because Nnamdi was the founder of the party. And he was giving instructions to Eyo Etta. Eyo Etta now was unwilling to accept these instructions. The first instruction Nnamdi Azikiwe gave to Eyo Etta was that he asked Eyo Etta that Eyo Etta should dismiss some ministers in the eastern region of Nigeria who were not working very well, and those ministers who were criticizing him, Nnamdi Azikiwe, because of his radical constitutional changes. The second decision he gave Eyo Etta was that Eyo Etta should change the constitution in the eastern region of Nigeria. But Eyo Etta was unwilling to accept these conditions. He refused to accept the condition. When he refused to accept, it started a problem between these two personalities. And that was how the crisis started. Now, when the problem started between Nnamdi Azikiwe and Eyo Etta, we look at the second cause to the crisis, which we talk about cabinet reshufflement. When we talk about reshufflement of cabinet, we mean a change in ministers. So the second cause to the Eastern Regional Crisis was because Nnamdi Azikiwe, when he asked Eyo Etta to change ministers who were not working very well, because Eyo Etta was the leader of government business, the only person who had the power to appoint and dismiss ministers. When Nnamdi asked Eyo Etta to dismiss these ministers, Eyo Etta refused to dismiss these ministers, and because of that, Nnamdi Azikiwe, together with some members of the Executive Council of the NCNC, some influential members of the Executive Bureau of the National Council for Nigeria and Cameroon, went ahead and dismissed 6 ministers out of the 9 in the Eastern region. They asked them to table their resignation letters. This minister refused. So the NCNC leader Nnamdi Azikiwe and the executive members of the party dismissed these 6, and the 6 members, Eyoeta was among them. Now, when these 6 ministers were dismissed, they were not happy. The next day, exactly at 6:00 a.m. in the morning, the 6 ministers went to the lieutenant governor in the eastern region of Nigeria, because the eastern region was ruled by a lieutenant governor, while Nigeria was ruled by a governor. So the lieutenant governor welcomed these 6 dismissed ministers at 6:00 a.m. The ministers came and complained to him that their resignation was out of their wishes, that they were forced to resign. Nnamdi Azikiwe came at 8:00 a.m., 2 hours late, with a new cabinet that he has reshuffled, to present to the Lieutenant Governor General in the Eastern region, whom at the time was Clement John Pleased. Clement John Pleased refused to acknowledge the new ministers. So, when he refused to acknowledge the new cabinet of Nnamdi Azikiwe, he continued to escalate the crisis in the Eastern region. Now, the third reason, we talk about support of the opposition party. The opposition party in the eastern region of Nigeria was called the National Independent Party. The opposition party, because the NCNC, as I said, was a ruling party. So, the National Independent Party, was the opposition party in the eastern region of Nigeria. What happened was that since the opposition has been struggling to enter the government, but the NCNC was always powerful, and the opposition could not take the government. So when the 6 ministers were dismissed, the opposition party, the National Independent Party, gave support to them and then left the NCNC and came and joined the opposition, and they now changed the name to the United National Independent Party. And this new party that was formed, the 6 ministers left NCNC because to them, they believed that Nancy wanted to dismiss them, or he was giving instructions to Iweka because he became ministers through his party NCNC. And so, to avoid that scenario, they left and joined the opposition party, National Independent Party, where they formed a new party, United National Independent Party. The new party struggled to put a government in the eastern region of Nigeria, but the new government could not work. Why? Because of the strong influence of the NCNC party in the eastern region. So if the the National Independent Party came in and instead poured more petrol in the crisis by supporting those who were dismissed, and the left and the NCNC was divided into two. It further increased the crisis in the eastern region. We said the fourth reason to the crisis was the misinterpretation of the McPherson Constitution. The McPherson Constitution was misinterpreted by Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. Nnamdi Azikiwe misinterpreted the Constitution because to him, he felt that the Constitution has created regions in Nigeria, has been made Nigerians to have tribalistic ideas, in the sense that he has made the people in the western regions to be feeling that they are more of Yorubas because they are Yoruba people. They began to differentiate them from the people in the eastern region where the Igbos, and the same with the people in the northern region where the Hausa. So with this, Azikiwe that struggled to enter the Federal House of Assembly in Lagos, because according to the Constitution, for you to be represented in the Federal House of Assembly in Lagos, which was the upper house, definitely you were supposed to be voted through your original house before you go into the upper house of assembly. So Azikiwe struggled to enter the upper house of assembly. He wanted to pass through the western house of assembly and enter the upper house of assembly. He wanted to pass through the western house, knowing full well that Azikiwe was an Igbo man from the eastern region. So he went through elections to enter the upper house of assembly through the western house, but it could not work. Why? Because the people in the in the Yorubas, they felt that Azikiwe was an Igbo and should not be represented in the upper house. They rather preferred their own brother, Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Chief Obafemi Awolowo, who was a Yoruba man and who was the chairman of the party in the western region called Echelon Party. So they preferred Obafemi Awolowo to represent them. Now, Azikiwe failed to represent the upper house of assembly through the western house because he was an Igbo man coming from the eastern region. That made him to misinterpret the constitution, that the constitution has created tribalism or regionalism among Nigerians. But he was finally represented in the upper house of assembly through appointment, which made him not to be happy because he felt as a popular leader and the founder of political party in Nigeria, he should rather be represented in the upper house of assembly through elections. So, Azikiwe, when he misinterpreted the McPherson Constitution, he wanted the McPherson Constitution to be terminated. But Eyoita refused. Because to Eyoita, if they terminate the Constitution, definitely the eastern region of Nigeria will be abolished and he was going to lose his position as leader of government business. So, the misinterpretation of the McPherson Constitution or the loggerheads between Nnamdi Azikiwe and Eyoita over the McPherson Constitution still continue to create tension in the eastern region. We have the last one. We talk about Southern Cameroonians' boycott of the assembly. Now, the Eastern regional crisis affected Southern Cameroonians in the sense that when the crisis was going on between Nnamdi Azikiwe and Eyo Ita, Southern Cameroonians went and supported the Nnamdi Azikiwe. Who were the Southern Cameroonians? When I talk about Southern Cameroonians, I'm talking about the 13 representatives that were representing Southern Cameroon under the McPherson Constitution that I explained under constitutional development. So, the 13 Southern Cameroonians, some of them, 8 of them supported Nnamdi Azikiwe. They were giving support to Nnamdi Azikiwe. When they gave support to Nnamdi Azikiwe, Eyo Ita, who was leader of government business in the eastern region, who had the powers to appoint and dismiss ministers, became angry that the Southern Cameroonian delegation gave support to Nnamdi Azikiwe's opponent. Now, the reason why Southern Cameroonian gave support to Nnamdi Azikiwe was because when Southern Cameroon was attached to the eastern region of Nigeria, Southern Cameroonians never loved being part of the eastern region of Nigeria because the Igbos, who were the main tribe that dominated the eastern region of Nigeria, they were maltreating Southern Cameroonians. For example, the Igbos crossed and came to British Southern Cameroon. They adulterate palm wine, they adulterate kerosene. When I talk about adulteration, it means that an Igbo man will take 10 liters of palm wine and add 5 liters of water and adulterate it to come and sell to the people of British Southern Cameroon. This same with kerosene, this same with palm wine. Aside that, the people in the Igbos who came to work in British Southern Cameroon in plantation like CDC, work in offices, good jobs, while Southern Cameroonians in their own territory were working with difficult jobs in the plantation, carrying things up and down. The Igbo people ruled Southern Cameroon as Southern Cameroon was their own territory. The police force in British Southern Cameroon, dominated by the Igbo, always maltreat the people in British Southern Cameroon. And the Igbo went as far as seizing lands that belonged to Southern Cameroonians. They seized people's wives. So it made Southern Cameroonians to have hatred towards an Igbo man. They began to fear the Igbo, and the fear for the Igbo, we call it the Igbophobia. Igbophobia was the fear for the Igbo. So Southern Cameroonians with this fear for the Igbos were not happy. They wanted to stay out of Nigeria. They wanted to stay out of the eastern region because the Igbos were maltreating them because they were attached to the eastern region. So the reason why they supported Nnamdi Azikiwe was because Nnamdi Azikiwe was always supporting Southern Cameroonians' demand for a separate region. On the 14th of April 1953, in the Global Memorial Hall in Lagos, Nnamdi Azikiwe made it clear, and I quote, that the NCNC party was aware of the peculiar situation of British Southern Cameroon as a trust territory, and the party was going to make sure that Southern Cameroon should have a separate budget, Southern Cameroon should have a separate region, and the Southern Cameroon should work and reunite with French Cameroon. That was the statement made by Nnamdi Azikiwe. So when Nnamdi supported Southern Cameroonians' demand for a separate region, it made the people of British Southern Cameroon love Nnamdi. So when the crisis was going on, the Southern Cameroonian representative in the Eastern region gave their support to Nnamdi Azikiwe. In politics, we say crash my back, I crash your back. They were crashing the back of Nnamdi because Nnamdi was also crashing their back, supporting them for a separate region. In that way, Eyo Eka became annoyed because support was given more than his political opponent. So Eyo Eka went and dismissed St. Muna. Don't forget, under the McPherson Constitution, St. Muna was made Minister of Works in the Eastern Regional House of Executive, and he was the only Southern Cameroon minister. So, out of the 9 ministers that were in the Eastern region, Eyo Eka was the leader of government business powers to appoint and dismiss ministers. For that reason, he got annoyed and dismissed St. Muna in order to sanction Southern Cameroon for their support to Nnamdi Azikiwe. When St. Muna was dismissed, elections were organized in the Eastern Regional House of Assembly to vote and see if he should be replaced or he should be reinstated back into his position. We have 43 people voted that he should not be reinstated, and 32 voted that he should be reinstated. From the statistics, 43 people do not want him to be put back, and 32. So Muna at all was not reinstated as Minister of Work. So in that way, on the 6th of May 1953, where the assembly was held in Enugu, Southern Cameroonians went to Enugu, but they refused to enter in the hall, and they stood outside with placard, and they were not happy. With that, it caused the Lieutenant Governor of the Eastern Region on the 6th of May 1953 to dissolve the Eastern Regional House of Assembly. When the Eastern Regional House was dissolved, the McPherson Constitution collapsed because it was a constitution that has come to confirm the status of Southern Cameroon as part of the Eastern region of Nigeria. When the constitution collapsed, we discovered that another constitution in 1954 was introduced, named after the British colonial secretary, known as Oliver Littleton Constitution. The Littleton Constitution in 1954 came and created a small region to Southern Cameroon. It gave Southern Cameroon a quasi-regional status in 1954. The headquarters based in quasi region, means small region but still attached to Nigeria. So these were some of the causes of the crisis in the Eastern region of Nigeria. We are going to look at again the consequences of the crisis, because those writing advanced level history, you take note, 2017 GCA, a question account for the crisis in the Eastern region of Nigeria and give its impact on British Southern Cameroon. So we have looked at the first part as the question of 2017, and we will come after to look at the consequences of the crisis on British Southern Cameroon. Don't fail to subscribe, don't fail to watch our previous videos. Try to watch the video on constitutional development, because it's going to give you a background before you understand the Eastern regional crisis. From then on, we are going to move gradually to other areas. Stay well, because political history is the key. If you need to have a good mastery and a good grade of advanced level history, you should be able to follow political history lectures very well. And to have a good mastery, make sure you follow our channel, you follow Echelon to have all what you need to pass the level history. Or for those of you who just want to have a good mastery, because most Cameroonians don't have a good mastery of Cameroon history. Many people in the world don't have a good mastery of world history as well as African history. Follow our channel, follow Echelon, you have the best of history. Thank you.